Hi guys, Chris the Vegan Gun Guy here with a long-awaited update on the Gemtech Mist-22 integrally suppressed 1022 barrel. So this is my barrel. I just got it back from Gemtech. Not everything was peaches and rainbows with these, unfortunately. And there were a few issues. They've been through a couple of generations apparently. So let me crack off the sleeve and show you what we're dealing with. So if you saw my initial video, which was kind of my initial impressions on this 1022 barrel, you'll know that there was a port right outside of the chamber. It was on top and bottom. They were basically drilled straight through, so you had two ports right outside the chamber to vent gases, and that would make basically any standard or high velocity 22 round into a subsonic round. And it seemed to work pretty well. On our initial testing, rounds were really quiet. Even things like mini mags and velocitors and things like that, we would hear like a crack, maybe once or twice out of a dozen rounds, which is the round going supersonic and kind of breaking the sound barrier, making that crack sound downrange. Generally, it worked pretty well. The problem with the design was that it was letting a lot of fouling get into the thread area, and so the suppressor would work fine when you were using it, and then when you went to break it down, it'd be really hard to get it to break free, these threads here, and it'd also be really hard to get the tube off of the baffle stack, because inside the tube itself you'd actually have some fouling residue buildup from the two ports, bottom and top. So initially we kind of sucked it up. We were like, we're gonna have to kind of crack this sucker open and start cleaning it every a couple hundred rounds or so, which of course it's annoying. It's not ideal, but it's doable for the quiet sound you get out of this, and it's a pretty cool package, so we were gonna just kind of live with it. Then we started noticing at the shop the newer Mist were coming in, and they'd have the ports out a little further. So whereas the first one, they might have been an inch away from the threaded area, the chamber area, the chamber's actually back here, but about an inch away from the threaded area, the new ones were more like 2 inches away, or an inch and a half away. It was a pretty noticeable difference when you just looked at the barrel. And I do not have personal experience with that generation. It was about that time when I realized that Gemtech knew they had an issue, and so we contacted them. We had contacted them originally just about how they were hard to break down and all, and they basically told us, you got to break it down a lot. So about the time that we started seeing the port move forward, we were contacted by Gemtech and said that they had a fix, and we were led to believe that they were going to make an adjustment to the tube itself, to the sleeve that goes over the entire suppressor and barrel. So we sent in the tubes that were in the shop, and mine was part of that. Mine was still waiting on my Form 4 at the time. So the tubes went off. The tubes got to Gemtech, and Gemtech contacted us again and said that, hey, look, we're going to need the whole barrels and everything. So again, we thought they were making some adjustment to the threads and all, which they did. But it appears that my entire suppressor, the entire barrel at least, this portion, was scrapped, and I was given a new one with no ports at all. So this is apparently, I guess, at least the third generation that I know of. There may have been more iterations, but in any case, Gemtech is at least fixing old ones this way, where they're eliminating the port altogether, and they may be shipping them all this way. I'm not 100% clear on that. I'm not sure what the new factory spec numbers will be as far as sound reduction rates and all that jazz. I can't seem to find it on their website or anything, and I haven't talked to them again personally. So I don't want to put anything out there that I'm just assuming. But this is going to be louder at least for regular velocity ammo. Subsonics, you should get the same exact performance out of it. I can't imagine that a subsonic's going to be any louder because this is so quiet. But a regular velocity round is probably gonna still crack out of this. Just because we were seeing mini-mags crack out of the one that had the ports right outside the chamber. So I'm willing to bet that they're going to crack out of this one a lot more often than that. So we will see. Time will tell. So I'm actually going through a job switch right now and some personal issues, and that's why it's been so long since I've updated this. But I'm trying to get back on it now. And this should be back on a gun and ready for some testing within a week or two. Of course, I'm going to run down sound levels again because it's basically new. It's basically a new design now. So we'll get kind of a baseline on different sound levels. And I will finally get around to accuracy testing and all that kind of thing as well. The gun that you saw me use in the original video was actually the owner of the shop that I work with. That's his personal rifle. And I didn't always have access to that, and that's why we never really got a lot of accuracy testing. And also, I didn't have a whole lot of variety of ammunition. I've gotten better with ammunition, and of course now I have my own personal barrel back from Gemtech and cleared by the ATF, so I'm good to go now. I can do this on my own schedule without having to worry about meeting up with anyone else or any of that stuff. So that's it, guys. Look forward to more videos in the future, but I just wanted to give a quick update. The ports are apparently gone, at least if you send yours back to Gemtech for the breakdown problem. They're definitely going to be gone. And also the tube seems a little looser over the baffles. It doesn't wiggle much, but there's a little bit of wiggle. On the first version, it was really tight. It was actually snug just putting it on without any fouling. But this one seems a good bit looser, so it seems that they will take down easier after being shot, which of course I'm excited about because I will have to maintain this and clean it all. So I guess that's the positive note here. I do plan on running, tuning my 1022 action to run a subsonic round, so I'm probably going to put a lighter weight spring in it and try to get it going where I can cycle a subsonic round pretty reliably. And I think that's how I'm going to use this particular rifle because it will be so quiet. Now, granted, I am going to tune it with a regular action and just run all kinds of different ammo in it, see what it sounds like first. But my idea at this point is to kind of reduce that spring rate to where I can use subsonics. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, please subscribe, and we'll have more Mist action coming your way.